we were talking about arcades, and I have some unfinished business, like classic arcade stories.
All right.
You guys got 10 minutes? Let's I'll hear yours too. But
tell us an arcade story, Sean.
Okay, more arcades. So like we had, of course, the classic kid, the insane kid, but also there's a time, and I mentioned it's called Wonderland in San Diego. It's Santee, more specifically, and it's like $1.75 to get in, 5 to 10 cents to play all the games once you paid your entry fee. And we'd just go there to like, you're in that age, it's like summer in high school or whatever. There's like nothing to do. You got a car, but you ain't got no money, and you just go places and just mess around or whatever.
There's a song in this somewhere.
So, yeah, we'd go there. It's gotta be. So we just go there to like prank the hell out of this place, and. Like, of course, fart bombs, stink bombs, that's like, that's a given. So if there's like a fool, sitting down, how they've got, you guys are making me feel bad.
That's a given.
Oh, come on. Like, what do you think you would?
Look like, yeah. Okay, so how they have like the sit-down games, like a racing game or whatever, there's two seats.
Oh, yeah?
So you find a fool who's in there, and obviously he doesn't want to get up, so pop one of them, throw it in there with him, like, enjoy, dude. Then, just you work your way around the place, just cruising around. You hit everyone up. And then, like, we had my friend's dad owns Highlight Adult Books in San Diego. It's like this big porn shop. So he got, it's like adult video news. It's like a catalog of all the releases that year.
Oh, yeah.
Your friend's dad owned a porn shop?
Yeah, and also Lay Girls.
That's a nice connection.
Which is like, if any San Diego listeners, Lay Girls and...
Lay Girls?
Yeah, it was right next to it.
As in L-A-Y
so
or
we would
L-E-S?
go down there all the time. Like, we get mad discounts, but we grabbed that. That was wild stuff. But we grabbed that because when you're in high school, you go to that kid's house and his dad's got random ladies over partying and stuff. But anyway, so we grab that AVN and we take pictures because there's like full-on naked pictures and stuff of all kinds of ish going on in that magazine. So we'd rip out those pictures, and then like here's where the story's going. Like there's that plexiglass plate on the controller, like that holds the buttons down.
You'd slip them underneath?
Yeah, so like one of us would pull that thing up, and then the rest would slide those down. And there was like all kinds of good shit in there. There would be, straight, gay, whatever, you name it. So we'd hook those up, and like the next fool, they'd be playing Street Fighter, all into it. It's just like all kinds of stuff going on. Like right as soon as they look down,
looking for Chun-Li's moves and seeing that.
So that was good. I mean, and then like just dumbass stuff, but it was fun. Like playing Mortal Kombat, like the first one, and every time you look back forward with Raiden, we like take up my and we like stand up on the controller thing, like when we jump up, so your feet are on where the buttons are, and yell that every time you did it, and then have to jump back down when you're playing. But they'd always want to kick us out for that, and then like
really,
they had.
I never would have gotten that.
One of my friends. This is too much. Like this is asshole. She took I guess, I don't think it was to put the porno in there. Maybe it was, but he took an upper tanker in their bathroom, the Wonderland. If this place is still around, I'm sorry guys, but he took an upper tanker in there. That's where like you take the lid off the top of the toilet and you deuce in there, and then so the next fool that flushes it. It's immediate, like a Blackwater overflow. So he would So he did an upper tanker.
Oh man.
Anyway, yeah, there's more. I got more. I'm gonna have to save them like a little each week, but those are a few other ones that.
Let me see. I got one I can remember right now. Remember the old Disc-Citron stand-up game that had like a little. It was like a little booth in there.
Yeah.
But it was like a lean-in. There was like a little hole. Like it was an enclosed space.
Those are great, dude.
Yeah, so I dropped a smoke bomb in there. When some guy was playing, this guy was like the dick at the local arcade, so I had to fuck with him. So
or like the off switches would be up on the top of the game. You know? Like you just reach up there and hit those. Hit the reset button when people are playing. Slap them on the back. Good game, dude. And walk on to the next one. But of course, like you gotta be careful. You don't do it to the kids bigger than you. They whoop your ass.
I was always the kid you were doing it to.
Yeah, I was about to say.
well, because I learned that stuff from other kids. It's just the cycle of life.
Just pass it down.
Like, that day, I remember like there could have been an age when, maybe I was in junior high. It was like kite day, and I'm flying my kite. I get my kite the highest, and then a rocker comes by with a switchblade, and he tells me to hold the string on my own kite, and he cuts it and then laughs. So that day, I learned it from him, Then I go to the arcade.
Yeah, but
there's someone younger than me. Of course I'm going to hook him up.
Well, yeah, I just
pass that knowledge down.
But the difference is you took those lessons and then you applied them, and then cycle of life. You did it to the. But I just went home and cried.
You did.
That's how I vented it. Yeah.
I mean, we need the sad, soulful music right now.
Did you cry when you saw what I left on the faceplate of your Street Fighter?
I did. Yeah.
I just went home and asked Sonic to marry me.
That's what happened. You drove somebody to go marry Sonic. Good going, Sean.
So you guys never did that stuff?
No,
we weren't bullies like you.
I was on the receiving end mostly.
Get his hand caught in the redemption prize, trying to snake the prizes out of it. They got to call the ambulance. You ever seen that?
No.
All right.
You really saw that?
Yeah, and then also at school too. Like someone, you know how there's always like the sign they put, like it was the dude that they make that sticker for. Don't kick the vending machine, because they'll fall over on you and kill you. Like this fool broke his arm and they're trying to get a free Coke out of it in high school.
Yeah, there was a guy at our school who got his hand stuck in the Coke machine for that reason. Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
The games. Okay, last
he was trying to
story.
reach under to get the Coke out for free.
Dude, drill a hole in the quarter. Like, I'm not telling the kids to do this. Probably doesn't even work, but, put fishing line through it.
Right.
And then just, try to rake that thing through there.
We did that in Berkeley. That's
Did it ever get it to work? I never got it to work.
We did.
Not once.
We did on one pinball machine. It was awesome, because we'd just be playing all day, and the guy would be walking around with the change thing, and we'd just be laughing at him.
There's like, no.
Right. He was thinking, wow, these guys must be spending all their money today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running up to that guy. You mean like, was it just change or tokens?
It was change in those days. Yeah.
All right.
Of course, that was in the 3 games for a quarter day.
When was that?
Yes,
How's that work out?
Back in the pinball days. It'd be a dime for 1 game, or 3 games for a quarter.
God,
you're taking us way back.
Yeah, that was the 1930s.
And I remember it was like, let me see this.
Right around Prohibition.
So the old zoetrope when I spun the wheel and then Peggy Sue took her top off.
My only arcade story is when I worked at a dollar theater as an usher. We had a Mortal Kombat 2 machine, and this was like when Mortal Kombat 2 was pretty passé. It's like the time of Mortal Kombat 2 was clearly gone, but it was a dollar theater, so it made sense.
Right.
All of a sudden, just standing there, ripping tickets, and all of a sudden, we hear the machine like shake really hard, and then this kid starts running, bolting, carrying the little bucket of quarters. So we had like 4 of us go chase him down and knock him down.
What's going on? He took your bucket?
Yeah, he took the bucket of quarters.
Some little kid did?
Some little kid.
Wow.
So we all chased him down into the parking lot and tackled him, and it was like $2.50.
Wow. It wasn't Sean, was it?
He
It
just
might have
straight
been.
up took your...
He just was like, hey, this thing must be open, or I don't know if he like broke it open or something.
Wow.
Ran off with $2.50.
Hardcore criminal.
I would get punked plenty of times.
It'd be funny if he came back trying to get into a movie afterwards.
Like you'd be playing and some bigger kid would come over, he'd wait for you to put your quarter in, and you just, because you're there on your own, you rode your bike there or some shit, he just push you aside and play.
I had that happen.
Sit there and watch him.
Yep.
That was actually that was the
shit's
kid.
so funny now. It's like the end of the world though when you're that kid. You feel so ripped off and violated. There's no one to tell.
That's what I'm saying. See, I'd go home and cry.
Like,
I got revenge. That was the kind of guy I smoke bombed.
Some guy pulled a knife on me at the Dodger game on cap day and took my cap. I got my free Dodger cap. It's like, man, you got one too. We all got one coming in. You got to take mine.
Dude, he pulled a knife on you for a Dodger cap?
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
And then the Dodger Stadium wouldn't give me a new one.
How old were you when that happened?
It's like 24. Yeah, I'm kidding. I was like 8. I was like a little kid.
Dude, who pulls a knife on an 8-year-old?
Well, somebody who really wanted a second.
A 9-year-old?
No, it was like a grown man.
That's
like
pretty messed up.
Yeah.
That is way messed up.
That's worse than you got the lunch money. You know it'll happen if you tell anyone. See you tomorrow.
Okay, Dad.
It'll be our little secret. The infomercial, public safety announcement about like getting bullied or molested. That was the one that played where I grew up.
And you learn nothing from that. You keep bullying people.
He was getting tips. He's like, oh, I didn't think of that one.
All right. I think now we're going to sign off.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. So Ryan can go home.
Ryan, you
Ryan,
had to
next
go
time
to an arcade. We're signing out, but you're taking us out with your arcade story.
I have no arcade stories.
Did they
Your
still
mom wouldn't
exist
let
when
you go there because they played secular music.
What?
Your mom wouldn't take you to the arcade because she heard they played secular music.
Devil's music?
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm pretty sure that's not how it went down.
Okay, Tell your arcade story now, Sean. While we're at this extreme low.
Now?
Yeah,
Right, okay,
it can't
we're-
get any more
Ryan
off
knows
on a
it's a low.
tangent.
Ryan,
Oh, Jesus.
without spoiling the detail, because I did tell Ryan. I gave Ryan a teaser at lunch.
Yeah.
How did you feel about it? How did it make you feel, Ryan?
Oh, this is going to be the new low.
Wow. Okay, I can't wait for this.
So this is sad. Yeah, maybe I should save. Fuck it. I don't know. Every time I say I should save it, I go into it. So I'm just gonna do it. All
Do
right.
it.
Here we go.
Let it roll.
All right. One time, me and my friend Corey, and I mentioned this guy before in the context of this is the guy I left. We had this insane rivalry at fighting games: Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Virtua Fighter. Later on, Soul Calibur. And he got on a big run at Mortal Kombat and just was talking shit on me the whole time. And so in the past, that's the guy I left at the arcade. I was just like, all right then. And I just like got in my car and left him there. Call your dad and have him come get you, dude. Your sister. So that was dick. That was like the
This
most
was, what, a couple years ago?
dick maneuvers I've ever pulled. But
Last month.
so this same guy, we're on our way back to that same arcade. This is where so many all the fun stuff happened. And he came to pick me up at my dorm and we're driving, and the whole time he's just tearing ass. You know, we're just driving, and it's the kind where at first, like, I have the window rolled down and I have like my head hanging out, and then, you know, eventually how when someone's farting around you, you knew that farts were going to be involved in this, so don't act surprised.
No,
when someone's farting around you, and all of a sudden it's like it's not funny anymore. Like you want to just punch them.
Yeah.
You know, and then so it hit that point where I stopped laughing, you know, and I was just like, you know, seriously like swearing at him and stuff. And he was just choking, you know, I mean, just spasmodic glee. And then all of a sudden he stops laughing. And then like about, you know, I'm trying to get the timeline down on this 'cause it's really important. About 10 seconds later, he goes, hey, I'm just going to drop you off at your parents' because they lived like in between where my dorm was and then the arcade. I remembered I got to do this or that. I can't remember what he said he had to do. And immediately I knew.
I know where this is going.
Corey, you shit your fucking pants. No, you're not dropping me off, dude. You're going to my house. You're getting the grocery bag. You're putting your dookie drawers in them. You're throwing them in the trash. And then you're going commando to the arcade because you came all the way out here to get me. So, okay, we go to the arcade. That he did all this. I mean, it was sure enough, just as I called. We go to the arcade. And then, so the rad end of the story is that as soon as I called it, he was like, you can't tell Mike. You can't tell Mike. And Mike was another friend in our clique. And he was the town crier, even more so than I was. So
as opposed to what's happening right now.
So, well, this is years later.
I know,
this guy
I know.
doesn't care now. Like this is
He doesn't care that he's now famous on the internet
Yeah.
for shitting his pants on the way to the arcade.
So Mike is like Mike's now an accomplished fine artist, and it's funny because he sells his stuff at like Monterey and Carmel,
Yeah,
like
not anymore. He
towns
doesn't.
like that, yeah. And immediately, so I told Mike, and he drew up like about a 6 to 8 panel comic book, comic story. Telling the whole, retelling everything I just told, and he watercolored it and everything. It looked really nice. And then, weeks later, in the context of all of us hanging out, Mike just passes it around to a big group of us. And it's like, yeah, here's something I was just working on lately. And then it gets to Corey. Corey looks immediately and understands what had happened. He just turns around at me and starts yelling. But it was, yeah. Okay.
Wow.
I didn't get any laughs out of that one.
No, we were all
I think
laughing.
I did.
I think
one
it was
too
like
many.
that was like a subsonic laugh from me. I just
I just thinking, I don't think I want Corey visiting the GFW office anytime soon.
just have a rack of Depends ready for him to show up.
Yeah, you're right. This was probably a new low for us. I didn't think it could go any lower.
That's
Scat
just the
humor.
life I
Yeah,
live,
I
though.
think it can.
I could tell one CGW fart story if I may. while we're on the topic. And that was that we used to all eat lunch in the lunchroom here at the glorious Ziff Davis offices. We would all go forage for our various food, and then we'd bring it back. We'd all sit in the conference room and talk. And quite often, there was a lot of burping going on because Dave Salvatore, who now works, where does he work now?
Intel?
You're right. Hi, Dave. He used to burp quite a lot. He was a champion belcher. I mean, this guy would he could shake the walls with these belches. And so people would try to compete with him, but there was no competing with Dave. And so we're all sitting around burping, and at the time we had this intern who did not last for very long. We're all sitting there eating and burping, and this guy just lets go a really loud fart and starts laughing, and we're all like, dude, we're eating lunch.
But you were
And
laughing.
he's like, not when he did that. He laughed, but we were all mad. And he's like, well, what? You guys are burping. We're like, it's not the same thing. In what universe are you from?
It depends, though. It could be burps can be far worse than farts. It depends.
I don't know. Not when you're eating lunch.
That's the real topic of this episode.
Which is worse?
Which can be worse?
Does this have to go in the iTunes write-up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
think it has to.
That's why we got the cover on there. Say the whole
Keyword,
thing is
fart.
about Ryan talking about
Keyword.
You know, I think-
52.
Flatulence.
I think maybe you should just open this up to a poll.
Okay, I'm going to bring this back to something a little more serious.
Okay.
Because we've hit the skids here.
Yeah.